There's no need to rush your greatness. There's no need to shortcut your life at every turn or in one big step. There's no need to just take one big step that then your life just becomes everything you dreamed of. Because it's never going to feel like yours. It's never going to feel like yours when you rush. Hello, world, and welcome to Be My Witness. This is a podcast where we witness ourselves, we witness others, and we witness each other. Experience this thing we call life. And today's episode is a bit vulnerable. I originally set out to discuss acceptance in the face of being afraid to fail. But as I kept recording, my thoughts led me to talk about what it's like to live and experience thoughts of suicide or suicidal ideation. And I know that having this in the intro is or can be jarring, but I really do want to set this as the formal disclaimer that is the subject matter that I'll be covering, not so much in detail, like graphically or super intense. It's really a gentle exploration with love, with compassion to those who experience. And I went back and forth on if I would release it. I've actually had this episode recorded for about a month because I wasn't sure if it would be too heavy to put out. And I did minimal editing. I know the title's a little like, what? But like maybe I edited it just a little bit. But very minimal. There's a lot of breathing. There's a lot of space, so don't think that your Wi-Fi cut out or you lost connection or the video ended. I'm just taking my time processing. But with that being said, I thank you for being here. So let's get into it. I'm slowly undoing the belief that one day it'll all make sense. Because I don't think the work is ever done unless you stop trying, unless you stop working. But we can reach well into old age and still be active in our own lives. There's no one saying that you have to stop at a certain age or you have to reach something by a certain age. I think what's more valuable and what's more fulfilling is to do things that you feel called to. Even if it doesn't make sense at first. Even if it doesn't make sense to others. There's a part of you that does exist in the future because you exist in the present. And that's where I believe that the intuition kind of plays a role. And it's the voice in you that's like, see this thing through. And hey, we could just be gaslighting ourselves. But that kind of leads me to my other point. Acceptance or acknowledgement of the new. Or acknowledgement of change. Acceptance of change. All of it. It isn't necessarily being okay with everything. It's instead presence. It's you not looking for more than where you are. It's curiosity to what could be. It's knowing yourself. It's ease in every moment, not wondering if you should be somewhere else. So, how do we accept the things that we cannot change? Or how do we accept the choices that we've made without wishing that they could change? I don't know. But I do know that I am right here. I'm here. I got the human suit on. I'm here. And I say that because, and this is a real life example, there's a function. I'm like, ooh, do I want to go to the function? Nah, I don't want to go to the function. But I kind of want to go to the function. Nah, I don't think I'm going to go to the function. Nah, I'm going to go to the function. Hey, let me see what the tarot cards say. Man, the tarot cards say I should go to the function. Nah, I'm not going to go to the function. All right, let me take a shower. Let me see how I feel. Ooh, I'm smelling good. I'm looking nice. I'm going to go to the function. Let me eat dinner. Let me eat something. Nah, I'm not going to go to the function. I'll be all right if I don't go to the function. If anything, it's good that I'm clean, I'm fed. I'm going to just go to bed. Nah, actually, I'm going to go to the function. Literally putting on an outfit, tying my shoes. About to walk out the door. Do I still want to go to the function? I don't know. But every action that you've taken up until this point shows me that you want to go to the function. Like, you keep all this back and forth in there, but your actions are saying that you want to go to the function. And you go to the function. And the function is a good time. But my point is, you here, bruh. You got the meat suit on. You keep showing up every day. I think you want to go to the function. Meaning, live. I think you want to live, bro. Ooh, and that takes me to my trigger warning section of the episode, because having a very imaginative mind can take you to dark places. It's really a skill that you have to, what's the word? I want to say manage, but it's a better word that I'm thinking of. It's a skill that you have to command, because the imagination can kind of go rogue, and it really is a skill to guide it back to where it needs to be. I don't know if, y'all not mandated reporters, right? No, but seriously, probably for half of my life now, there's been this constant thought of ending my life. But as you see, and as you're listening, and if you know me, there's really no evidence of that on the outside. I don't know. Maybe I think I'm hiding it, or maybe I don't think it's showing, and I hope it's not. I don't know. Like, this is okay, because it's like, how do you talk about, because what I think it is suicidal ideation. Like, I'm not gonna do it. And if you're a mandated reporter, I'm not gonna do it. I'm good. I'm fine. But it just be like, when life gets a life in and I get scared, my mind be like, what if you went to the self-checkout? But I be having to reel it in. Like I said, the imagination, it can go rogue. And I'd be like, I don't, I don't know. But like the function, if I keep showing up and I keep doing the things that are creating a life I obviously want to live, so that part of me really needs to, I don't know. Because it's like I really want to get into it, but like I don't know the right words to use. But I think what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to get at, and what message I'm trying to shed light on is, even if you're someone who has had suicidal thoughts or you've even attempted suicide, but you're still here and you're witnessing this podcast, and you're still showing up every day, you're taking care of yourself, you're feeding yourself, you're doing, all the things that lead to living life. You want to live. And not every moment has to be a part of this like grand scheme of everything, or of your life being this story. What's the story? What's the story? Because stories are edited. You experience the raw, uncut footage. Those are two different things. Now, the story has its place. That's why we still like celebrities. But your existence, your experience is uncut footage. So there's a separation that you have to have between yourself and the story. You can still have a story. I think stories are important, but where that can become troublesome is when you're attaching your identity and your every moment to the story. Because sometimes you're going to experience stuff that you wish you could edit out, that you wish you could cut. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately. Because the reason why I know that is because I think the same thing. I feel the same thing. But I'm still here. And I'm still doing things that are proof and evidence that I want to live. And it's low-key really emotional because I reframe probably half my thoughts a day. I don't know. But I've never reframed that one. And in this moment, I don't really know what that means. But I think that the fact that I'm reaching a place that I am reframing the thought is going to change something in me from now on. Because even if it comes up and says, you could always go to the self-checkout. I can look around and see all that I've accomplished, all that I've done, all that I create, all that I show up for, and say, no, I want to live. It's not easy to be a living person who's had thoughts of suicide, because it's almost, or it is, a part of you that you hide away from everyone, but it's a constant in your mind. And I think for me, it could feel like I'm a fraud in a sense, because my whole thing is like life. Oh, it's so beautiful. Whole time. And I think I'm still trying to understand it, like its purpose in the bigger picture of it all. And if the thought is even mine, because how can I consume edited footage, edited media, polished, published, um, you know, experiences, and then still have to live a raw, unedited version of life? Is it the consumption, or is it my own mind's imagination? And something that gives me a sense of peace in it all is knowing that I can't be the only one. There's at least one other person experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing. And knowing that, believing in that, makes it mean something. So that if my experience could shed light on their experience and make them feel less alone. Because independence, and really the shadow of that, selfishness, is all the rage right now. Everybody want to be on their own bag. I'm on my own bag. And that's lovely. Like I've said, I'm hashtag Miss Independent. But there comes a time. There comes a time where it's the experience that we have with one another that makes us feel valued, that makes us feel seen, that makes us feel witnessed. Because someone could be attracted to you or like the way you look aesthetically. But what does it feel like when someone walks into the room all the way in the back of your mind that you visit every day? What happens when someone sees that? When someone witnesses you in that room? What happens when you feel something beyond attraction? What happens when you feel witnessed? Before I go, If you relate to anything that I shared in this episode, I want you to know that I am a living, breathing, raw, unedited proof, or as I cut this part out, I want you to know that I am a living, breathing, raw, unedited example of the darkest truths that exist in you. Or even the ideas that you share. Maybe you haven't had those dark thoughts. But if you have, know that you're not alone. And that if it ever becomes too much to bear, that you could reach out. You could reach out to someone you trust in your own life. You can even reach out to yourself. You can reach out to God. You can reach out to the universe. There will be someone, something in this experience willing to hear your pain. And before I go, because as I'm recording this, I'm thinking about how uploading this to the world will be received. I'm already in the future. Hey, I am who I am. I'm working on it actually. I'm working on it actually. But sometimes when I'm editing, I do think like, maybe I could have given this a bit more. So here I am. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I don't know then, because I always wonder what it's gonna be like to put this out in the world. But then I'm always surprised by the reception. And I think that with this, we do need people to shed light on darker spaces, but with love and with care and with honesty and sincerity, and it not be for jokes. Because I love to laugh, but I think that's what keeps that room so hidden. And it's not that I would go around just like, hey, thought about killing myself today. But, you know, if I could create a space where it was okay to say that and still exist like as you are, and still exist as you are, and not have to, I don't know, answer for the crime, I put in quotation marks, it is to wrestle with your mind. Like, damn, y'all don't ever be in there kind of fighting, having to fight back. I know I do. So yeah, this started off in a way that I don't know, a lot of food for thought here. Let me know what you think. Let me know, just let me know something. Just let me know how you're doing. Let me know if anything in this episode lit anything up for you, leave a comment, share, like, message me, connect, let me know what you took away from this episode. And until next time, peace.